Hello, and welcome to this short film about our new book, Loud and Clear. I'm Hare, the author from Innovations in Dementia, and this book has been funded by the Life Changes Trust. The book tells the story of 20 years or so of voice, involvement and activism by people with dementia in Scotland. In the film, a number of the contributors to the book, both from the UK and from overseas, explain why this story matters. We hope you enjoy it.
Well, in the very early days, there was nothing for people with dementia. Nobody would speak to me or listen. So that was one of the reasons I set up the Scottish Dementia Working Group with Heather and Brenda, because there was nowhere to go that people would listen. They certainly weren't listening to us in those days. Unless you've got dementia, you don't know what it's like. And so people made assumptions a long time ago. They never asked us, so it's important we get allowed to speak. And this is happening now. People with dementia are able to voice their opinions and concerns. I mean, at the beginning of your dementia, people wouldn't even ask you the time of your watch. You know, just regarded you as completely incapable of anything.
The story has got to be told and retold. And it's got to be told not just to other people with dementia so that they can become activists, but it has to be told to the wider general public and other organizations who tend to neglect the word that comes from the mouth of the people who have the condition and who tend to make decisions without taking them into consideration.
I believe we owe it to the pioneers for all the effort they put in. I believe we owe it for the new people coming into a new diagnosis, so they know what it was like pre all this technology and the effort and the hard work that had to be put in to make it easier for them today. It was hidden away. It was in the darkness. And this book is going to bring it out in light.
I create opportunities for people with dementia to play a role in designing better journeys. And this involves working with existing networks and groups of people with dementia. Now, I don't think this would have been possible if it wasn't for the work and perseverance and vision of activists here in Scotland. So I think it's important that we hear the stories of how we got to where we are today. Not only to celebrate the achievements, but also to learn from what's come from before and hopefully to inspire others to value the expertise and experience of people with dementia in the future.
It's only by reflecting on the past that people can understand what it was that made a difference at the time, and that can help them see how far we have come.
So thanks to Philly and thanks to Life Changes Trust for capturing those stories, those love stories, those emotions, and for reminding people about how important it is for people with dementia and their carers to be visible in Scotland.
I learned most from Scotland dementia activism that the concept of rights, beyond medical care, medical treatment and care, the concept and the practice of rights ties right into civil society, and it also allows us to look at the future.
Without the work of those very early pioneers, I think that we'd be a lot further behind in our activism. So thanks to Scotland, we love you, and we look forward to working together in the future.
Even when people with dementia progresses, they can still do what they want to do as they create different ways to cope in their daily lives. And he saw that was happening in Scotland, that they were coming up with their own tactics to maintain their daily living as they wish to do. And he came to believe that we cannot stop the progress of the disease, but we can continue to live the way we want to do.
That in Scotland, it was a movement. It was a lot of people who shared the same vision and were equally determined to make this happen. Whereas in some countries, it was perhaps even as few as one key individual. It's a very different experience in Scotland. So I think it's important to acknowledge these astonishing individuals. Their dedication and their commitment needs to be recognised, and many, of course, are no longer with us.
What I learned most as I went over to Scotland to see what were happening with those people with dementia, and I personally call it a humane model, having the warmth of the human beings that pulls the energy of people together. As I visited and learned about what were happening in Scotland, it's about the human beings and how we, the human beings, live in the society.
By telling my story and my memories about the activism that I was involved in, I felt it was very emotional, but very cleansing. And I felt as if I was capturing it all and putting it neatly in a lovely box and tying a big bow and celebrating it all. Now I feel that it's captured. It's not going to go away. It's amazing, you know. The history of activism, wow.
I'm talking from Sydney in Australia, and I've seen the impact and influence of the activism from Scotland across many countries. The world has changed through your work.
The story carries forward powerful messages. If you're living with dementia, don't lose heart. Join with others. Make your voice count. For professionals, politicians, and the public, listen.
Unfortunately, the trailblazers are getting older, and we've got comorbidity problems, so it's important that a record is made before we're gone. And so nobody knows the history but us few people. I'm looking forward to it. I hope it makes me feel glorious.
Why do these stories of dementia activism need to be told? Well, for me, it's really simple. Why did we need to hear the stories of the suffragettes and the suffragists, of the civil rights campaigners, both here and in America, trade union activists, of people from Gay Pride, who, through their actions, have totally changed society's attitude? So why do we need to hear the stories of dementia activism? So we can change society.